Hi guys, welcome to Ultra Chill. This is episode number 13 and the season finale. Today I'm pretty stoked to have David and Nicolas on to talk about Ultra's roadmap for 2022 and beyond. We'll be covering a range of topics from the Uniq Marketplace to Ultra Games, updates to the Ultra Wallet, and of course our upcoming tournament platform. We'll also be talking about the exclusive AAA games that are nearing the final stages of development. Before we dive into all that, just a heads up that this episode is the last one for Season 1. We'll be taking a few weeks off to get organized for Season 2 of Ultra Chill. Let's get to it. Ultra Chill. Welcome to the show, guys. How you guys been?
Good, thank you, Rami, for having us.
So let's not do it.
I wasn't expecting it so fast.
The marketplace is probably the product that Ultra has shown the most of to the world so far. We think that it's a deeply foundational piece of the larger puzzle for what you guys want to build. And I think instead of really rehashing all of that, I'd like to start out the show with kind of an update of how the marketplace is shaping up. Who wants to give us kind of a status update of the marketplace?
Sure. So the marketplace is shaping up pretty well. So I think what's important to understand is that there are really two parts to the marketplace. There's the blockchain aspect, and then there's the marketplace, which is the interface. Now, everybody can make their own marketplace out of what exists on the blockchain side, and this is our take to the marketplace. We're separating the new NFTs launches, which we call the launchpad, with the marketplace, which is like the secondhand resale of NFTs. On the marketplace, you also have your inventory, which is represented the same way you see it inside your wallet, so that you really see it's the same thing, what you see in the wallet and what you see in the sales panel in the marketplace. So another part that we're working on is the search engine, which will be, dynamically populated based on, what you're searching, where you're searching, and kind of like the parameters that are related to each of these different NFTs. So you can kind of filter out more and more, drill down to what you're looking for, and then get finally exactly what you ask for. So that's a big piece that's being worked on right now.
There's actually really kind of a third part of the marketplace though, right? Because there's the blockchain, there's the UI, and then there's the content that goes into the marketplace itself. What kind of content can we actually expect to see?
In this regard, we are working with renowned brands in the games industry to publish their content. Obviously, there is game related. There is also the game we are working on with our partnering studios and having also these NFTs as part of the platform. So which means NFT pre-sale. So providing exclusive access to our community members to this content. That's going to be very exciting because everybody will be part of this platform, will get access to this content only available there, right? We also have everything tied to influencers. So, influencers in the game space, crypto space. The idea is there's definitely some exciting content that they produce, that their community loves, and that are in great synergy with Ultra. And we also have a few initiatives that we are launching on our own. So you really don't be surprised if you see things tied to whatever we are building that are more integrated with the rest of the platform and can give you also a glance at what's upcoming, how can people use the platform.
When can the community expect to get wider access? How is the rollout supposed to happen?
I think in terms of the rollout, so you can expect in about a month, we will widen a bit the Uniq Marketplace access. And then from there, we start scaling up the users and the content, plus adding new features. For example, we haven't spoken about all the features of the marketplace, but you're going to have things like redeemable codes that obviously can be all used by all the legacy solutions. So websites, I don't know, imagine a CD key or partners who already have like a large audience, they can actually use a redeemable code to enhance their marketing capabilities, which in addition drive users to a platform.
Yeah, maybe we can explain what redeemable codes are. So basically, you can have a token factories that produces a certain token. And what you can do is you can reserve a certain amount of tokens that this token factory can mint, and you can like link serial numbers to that, and then you can distribute these, redeemable codes through, the different channels, even Twitter, whatever. And anybody that takes that code and put it in Ultra will receive the NFT that's linked to this. So it's a one-time usable code, a little bit, like what users are used to, but here it's really linked to an NFT. And what's interesting is that it can be linked to an NFT that has not been minted yet. Because what we're really doing is we're reserving a certain amount that can be minted, which means if there's logic that reveals contents once the NFT has been minted, it will still work. You will really just know the content once you redeem your code. So that's a right way of doing that.
Are there implications for having like real world items that can be kind of like redeemed as NFTs there?
Yeah. So every type of NFT that can be minted on Ultra, whether it's a game, virtual item, crypto collectible, you name it, will be convertible. Can be converted into, like, the mint right can be converted into a serial number, which can then be redeemed. So a lot of business will definitely use that, because it doesn't require any blockchain account or whatsoever to distribute it. And then, of course, once you know, oh, it's an Ultra redeemable code, then yeah, maybe you will go create your Ultra account, redeem the code, and then get the content which is behind, which again could be a game, or could be access to a game beta, or could be, a DLC, a virtual item, and all kinds of, things that we're still about to announce. But this redeemable code, basically, it's a very powerful marketing tool, both for us, but also for game developers and for content creators on our platform.
But it's also a feature that is both highly useful for the NFT marketplace, for the Uniq Marketplace, but also for the Ultra games, in a sense that, for example, we always mention working with AMD. So when you want to receive a graphic card, redeem your game, you actually will use a similar solution. So at the end of the day, people redeeming it will get on Ultra and get the game downloaded.
Next, I wanted to talk about Ultra Games. I mean, we're a gaming platform, and I know that we're currently in Wave 2 and we'll be expanding access out into Wave 3 in 2022. I know that we're like particularly careful about how we talk about dates. So I don't want to ask about dates, but I do kind of want to ask about the process, about how this expanded access will work, who will get access, how are we going to define who gets access, things like that.
I think in terms of access, we will give priority to our community for the Wave 3 and start to expand as well into the gamers realm. Because we want actual gamers who don't really have experience in crypto to actually test out the platform before it's live to everyone. So one of the target audience for this Wave 3 will also be through influencers reaching out to the mass market gaming. So it will still be measured in a term we don't want to make people feel bad about the fact nobody can get access to it. But yeah, still we will start to ramp up and then get larger influencers, more users until we are fully live.
Can we talk for a second about like what that ramp up actually means, like why we're so careful about it? Because I think that like within the community, people see the ramp up, they kind of understand like why we're being so careful, but I don't think that they understand, the implications on like support and services that we run and like all of that stuff. So maybe we should talk about that for a second.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good point. There's tons of things that go behind the scene that people don't see when you purchase a game. And that include, different metrics. That includes, the payout reports that we need to give to developers, which takes care taxes. That also includes functionality that allow us to refund people if there's a issue, allow us to communicate with the people that have issues. There's really a lot of things going on, which if we don't take care of this right from the beginning, we might have a lot of people that would be unhappy. And also, it might overwhelm the BD team at the back that actually needs to deal with these issues. And so yeah, there's a lot of things that are being put in place. And then when we add new users, we see these purchases, and then we can test these out, and we go, step by step, to handle them like this. And then now we also have the data team that's very busy. Joshua, our marketing manager, joined recently. He's starting to ask tons of KPIs, which are important metrics to understand whether he does his job properly, to see how his marketing efforts impact the growth of the platform, the sale, the use of certain functionalities, and so on. And so all of these, they seem they people don't think about these, but that's tons of work that goes into this, and it's work that will allow us to, in the case of KPIs, that allow us to better direct our efforts to what is the most efficient, what is working the best. And yeah, so these are things that we're working on at this point.
I think in terms also of content ramp up, so we started to reveal, many more games recently, publishers as well, and then we have a lot of, COVID being COVID, it blocked a bit all the live events, and here we are restarting to attend all the game conferences, starting with GDC here in March. So you will see us at GDC and meet all our different partners, and then continue to get more and more content accessible to the platform, knowing that there is sort of two types of content. One is really traditional, which we already have a good grasp on. A lot of people are publishing their content, but you also have all the different studios that are starting to build play-to-earn games, and those games are also very excited to be on the platform for all the seamless interaction that we offer, meaning that for traditional gamers, they can actually play those games without any hassle, which is really key for getting a game successful. You actually need to be ease of access to it. If it's complicated to get into it, then you just stop, you do something else, because life is getting so easy today on the internet. You don't want to get into like complicated things. So if it's simple, you get through it. If it's complicated, you skip. So that's also one of the focus we would have at GDC, is to meet the different partners that are building these kind of games and put them and distribute them on the platform. One important, I think, aspect is a game that is built maybe in another blockchain can very well be distributed on the platform on Ultra Games. As for us, that's also very important, because it doesn't lock us into the content we have. It also widens the scope to any type of blockchain-based games that are developed. And we are adding new features over time to be able to make it as seamless as possible, even for those blockchain. And obviously, the users come to Ultra, then they see, the rest of the platform, and then become Ultra users as well.
Yeah, I will add one thing for people who don't know what GDC is. So GDC is the Game Developers Conference. It happens normally every year in San Francisco, and it's the largest professional games industry, conference. So it's split in two areas. One which is a lot of technical talk in front of panels and so on, and then another part which is we call the floor, where really game developers are showing their games, or technology providers are showing their technology, and it's really directed to professionals. To me, this is my favorite show. Every time we go there, we have incredible results. So we've been doing GDC even before Ultra, and it's a great time for us to reconnect with all of these amazing friends we have that are doing incredible stuff. And so at this point, Edward and Donald, who are basically in charge of the platform content, are lining up tons of meetings over there. And it's going to be a very exciting, I think a very, a fruitful event this year, since it's been 3 years that we haven't been able to do it because of COVID. So a lot of stuff will be, shared to us and shown to us privately. So it's going to be super excited, and we're going to make sure to keep you guys updated, and we're probably going to do some stuff with Josh, and showing some pictures and stuff of what's going on over there.
So one of the things that I'm most excited to talk about that like we've seen internally but we haven't been able to show externally is the exclusive AAA titles that Ultra has been working on. Really cool. And I know that the community is really hungry for more news about this stuff because we kind of like drop, a little bit about it every now and then, but we don't really say much.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys would like to talk a little bit about those two games that have been in development.
Okay, so the FPS game, I think is quite unique. It's a fantastic, groundbreaking new concept, which I have no doubt will be very fun and interesting for a lot of people. It is a free to play game, and it's also at the same time a play to earn game, which is very, very important to understand, because in many play to earn games, you actually have a very steep onboarding cost, right? Because you need to have money, or you need to rent assets, and this won't be the case here. So it's the way it's designed, it really allows the mass market to onboard, and then the people that want to invest to actually affect the world with their actions and their investments and so on. So this is very cool concept. We're going to organize internal playtests of this game. So this game has been in development already for many years. So this is a thing that I think is very exciting, both for us and for the team that develops this game, because it's a game that plays itself with a lot of users. And it turns out that we have a lot of people in Ultra, and so it's a perfect fit for them to stress test and try out different gameplay mechanics and so on. So I think I'm personally very excited. I think the rest of the team is also very excited to see that happen. And yeah, so that's going to be something very cool. And then for the sports game, um, we we're not going to speak too much about this. For this, there's a surprise. Like there's a reason why we won't speak much about this. But it's also a game that will cater to tons of users, like tons of users. And we're also looking to making this game, even though it's a play to earn game as well, it's going to be very accessible. Yeah, so so for both games, I think the most important for us is to, of course, let the developer announce their games. So right now, we just keep it on a super high level, but then there will be announcement, and shortly after, we will definitely invite them on the podcast, so that we can talk about what they showed, and the video they showed, and so on, and maybe let people ask some questions to that team.
I think that's going to be a really interesting internal playtest. Like, I know that we have at least one diamond level Apex Legends player within Ultra, and we have a bunch of extra ex professional players. So, not going to be a joke to play against those guys.
Yeah, looking forward to
Yeah, I think
grabbing your NFTs.
yeah, so definitely here what we bring is the also play to earn brick, where we have a great experience in how to monetize, how to develop interesting gameplay mechanics with our past experience. So we bring also this experience to them to really make this game really cool play to earn game. And for the FPS game, the team behind it's also pretty stellar. Um, I think it will be exciting to reveal, but yeah, they worked on a lot of huge franchise, Cyberpunk, Halo Infinite, World of Warcraft, Diablo. Uh, yeah,
Doom, Fortnite. I mean, it's insane. This
yeah,
team is insane. Honestly, I've rarely seen a team with this many veterans. Everybody with 10 plus years of game development. It's
yeah,
a we're super excited by this because if you look at platforms, there's always a flagship game and it's always like a FPS, right? The Xbox has Halo, Steam has Counter Strike, and Epic has Fortnite, and this is we're going to do a lot of work with them to make their game very successful, and it's going to be something very exciting for the Ultra Games platform.
I think it's interesting that like when you launch a platform, you have to have that like gold standard game that kind of defines the level that you want the platform to be. Like, Nintendo, they always have their Zeldas, they always have their
Yes,
Marios because like that's like the level that you want that game to be, and it
and that's why
teaches
you
it teaches the other developers what they're supposed to be doing, right?
Also, yeah, and also that's why you buy the Nintendo Switch, right?
Sure.
It's because you want to play, Zelda, and that's kind of like how we look at things. It's like our platform needs something like that because that's why people will come on the platform, and
Right.
then through that, then of course, hey, you have NFTs, you have the Unique Marketplace, you have other games, and you have the esports platform, and all of that. The games that we work on exclusively are games that have like a long term strategy with us, with the esports tournament and with everything that we're working on and haven't announced. So it's kind of like these are going to be like super games because they will be so tied into this platform and will generate a lot of content that other games can benefit from.
So, Ultra's tournament platform is, I think, one of the most exciting things that Ultra has been working on. I think that it's super innovative. I think that it's because that it's deeply integrated into all the things that Ultra has been working on, it's going to kind of take Ultra to the next level. Maybe you want to talk a little bit about how the tournament platform will actually work. Will users be able to access it from within Ultra?
yeah, totally. I think in terms of how it uses the ecosystem is very interesting because that's really what we aim for with the platform is that people can start building on it using our framework. And the tournament platform is a really good example of how to do that because it's in partnership with a third-party company, not developed within Ultra, but outside of Ultra, by a separate team using the technology we developed internally. So that's going to be a really good, showcase of what the technology can do, and get other people excited to build also their applications or modify their application to use our technology. Um, in terms of integration, so it's deeply integrated in a sense that you can just access it the same way you would access data as part of the platform. So you just click on an icon, boom, you're automatically registered using our single sign-on solution, the same payment flow, the same friends list. So everything is tied into the ecosystem. And we can really see how the NFT side of things are used within that platform. So you can really imagine that people watch live stream, you can win an entry ticket to a tournament, which is an NFT. The same way you can earn some NFT as prizes, which can be games, which can be virtual items, which can be like pre-sale. For example, imagine you have like one of our exclusive games. Um, we have a pre-sale ongoing, but also you can gain 10 NFTs if you play this tournament in the early access of the game. So you can start to see, oh, okay, everything is tied. Yeah, actually, it can be tied. It just depends how you use it. But Ultra is really developed to be able to benefit from the other people's work, enhance your experience, so the users at the end of the day wins.
Yep. And also all the APIs for organizing tournaments and so on will be available through our SDK. So when you install our SDK, you get access to the achievements, leaderboard, matchmaking, friends list, all of that. But now you're gonna get access to the tournament, which ties in then in the game. So the game developer really installs one SDK in their code base, and then they get, the core platform functionality, leaderboard, matchmaking, all of that. And then they receive the tournament, and they have the NFT in the same SDK. So we will be definitely we will be the first SDK that really does everything. And it's a great thing because game developers don't like to install different SDKs in their code base, and because it's a lot of maintenance and you need to trust many different people, and the documentation is different, the technical support is different. Here it's the same thing from A to Z. And so it facilitates a communication, integration efforts, and so on, for them. So that's also a cool thing. So and it's funny because the tournaments you can use, because it's in the SDK, you can use it for games, but you can use it for apps as well. So this is going to be some very funny stuff that's probably going to happen. But yeah, we're also super excited. And exactly what Nicolas mentioned is that if you look at kind of like the development cycle, is first we made Ultra games, then we made, Ultra Wallet, and we're making the marketplace. We're kind of consuming our own technology here, because every time they're all application published inside the client Ultra, and this is the first, third party application that's developed by, another company in collaboration with us, basically, which will be integrated. And then as a result, from what we learned from their integration, question, hey, how I do this, how we do that, we can create documentation, and we can make it easier next time for other people who totally don't work with us to make application and publish them in Ultra, and then leverage all of these functionalities which we first tested ourselves, then let a partner test, and then let everybody really open up completely the platform to them.
Yeah, and I think that's also one vector of user acquisition for us, because we mentioned obviously exclusive games are a great way to get users on board. Uniq Marketplace as well, because you have exclusive content, you come for it. But also tournaments are an amazing way to bring people on board.
Yeah.
Just the partner we're working with, they have like over 10 million users. So obviously that's easy for them to excite people, bring them, play the tournaments. But at the same time, they're all the large brands. So if you work with a big brand, um, creating a tournament, you're gonna attract their user base as well, because they're gonna be like, okay, cool. There's this game, there's that I'm already playing. There is a huge user base, and there's a huge prize in this tournament. So, I'm gonna come and try it out for sure. So this, tournaments is a great way to bring people, as well as brands. Because if a brand can use a tournament platform to promote their product, obviously it's exciting, because usually their own customers are getting access to it, but also new customers that they try to bring in to buy their product. So like a Red Bull, or different type of brands. So that's really exciting, because each new application, in a sense, will contribute to the growth of the ecosystem, and tournament platform is a prime example of that.
And then you have the trifecta, right? Like you you can register to a tournament or look at it in a live stream, and if you want, you can download the game as well. And it's kind of like everything is connected. Like you can look at the stream, wow, this game is amazing. Well, there's a buy button right there. So you buy it, and then you can download it, and then you can register to the tournament. The whole thing is completely seamless within the same platform, which is actually really three platforms, because there's Ultra Game, which is us, there's the tournament platform, which is this other company, and there's this live streaming platform, but it's still seamless. And so I think that's really one of the things that I'm the most excited of with Ultra, is really the app ecosystem and the way it works. That's going to be super excited.
So, expanding on the apps that we've been working on, there's some updates to the Ultra Wallet, which are in the pipeline also. So, we have like the basic utility, but we'll be expanding that utility with some key features to make it more secure and make it more useful. Can we first start talking about how we'll be making the Ultra Wallet more secure?
Yes. So this will be done in two steps. First, we will deploy soon a two-factor authentication that works with a Google Authenticator, for example. And then later on, actually it's in three-step. And then later on, there will be the ledger support. And then the third step will be what we call EBAV2, which is the extension of what we have today, which will make the account securable without hardware, but with almost as high security as a hardware wallet, but still super easy for kids and for everybody to be able to recover your keys. So it's really three steps, and the first one will happen soon.
There's some other features that we're looking to add to the Ultra wallet. You want to talk quickly about those? Because I think they're really interesting.
Yeah, so there's a series of features. I think one of them is the transaction history. So right now, when you open the wallet, you can send, you know, Ultra coins, and you can see what your state of your wallet is in terms of how many Ultra coins you have. But the bottom is very empty, and I think we you know, when we just announced the roadmap, people saw what the empty area is for. It's for the history. So you will see what US you sent, how much you receive, but also the same for NFTs. So you will have a very good understanding of what happened, especially because sometimes you will put something for sale and it's asynchronous. So you put something for sale, and then eventually somebody buys something, and then here you will see, well, you received this much, and then you send your NFT, and it kind of like gives you a more visual feedback of what's going on, and not just receiving an email, because right now you basically receive an email that says, hey, you sold your thing, but here it will be part of the platform. And then there's been an update also on the NFT inventory. Now, people who have the Ultra client, they don't have NFTs, so they can't see it, but it's actually working. If we were to give you an NFT, you would see it in that list. And then the representation of NFTs also are being, extended with new functionality. So we added the marketplace, so the ability for you to set something for sale or removing something for sale. We will be adding the ability to send the NFT not without having to put it for sale. And then there's going to be some advanced functionality for influencers and for content creators, which we will announce also in the coming months. But this is super cool. I think this is going to be one of the features that we will announce, that all influencers and everybody that does business with NFTs are gonna love. And this will facilitate also people that don't create but to receive NFTs, participate in contests, and all kinds of different events that allow them to receive NFTs.
Built-in virality, huh?
Yes.
I think one of the also extension that you're gonna see coming is the fact right now the wallet is within Ultra, right? But the idea is that anybody should be able to use this wallet on any website anywhere on the internet. And that's one of the next stage for the wallet as well, is that this merge into like more extension type, like you have a MetaMask, right? But you want anybody on anywhere to be able to purchase a unique NFT, want to, promote content and have all of that in a very seamless and easy to use interface without having to use Ultra directly. They can just have it as part of the browser. So that's going to be really a way for us to grow significantly with partners. It's making it very simple for the users to actually use our product as part of third-party external websites.
So the last thing that we're going to talk about today is Ultra Mobile. So to support the Ultra platform, we'll also be releasing a mobile app in the future. What functionality will Ultra's mobile offering include?
So we want people to be able to, be on the go and manage their assets. So control managing their US. managing their Uniqs, but also managing potential certain games own FTs, and this is what the mobile app will do. So at any place, all the core functionality that you will want to have in the mobile app, you will have it. And this will all rely on the same core technology that we made for Ultra. So the recovery of your keys or the security of your keys and so on will have the same core component. The interfaces are going to be extremely similar, so that if you are used to Ultra games on PC, well, the experience will be similar on mobile and vice versa. So this is going to be also something very cool, because typically it will allow us to grow much further than on PC. There are more users on mobile than PC, but we still choose to go on PC because there's a need for this. There's really a massive gap in the game industry to solve series of problems that we solve. But mobile is obviously like a massive chunk of the cake, and this mobile app will allow us to grow our user base even faster once it's released.
Thanks to David and Nicolas for all their insight. And of course, thanks to all the Ultra fans out there. Make sure to subscribe and share this episode wide and far. We'll see you guys next season, and keep it ultra chill. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.